Wow, good old friends, familiar faces, different time, different lives, but still talking about the same thing, and that is this disrupted world. We have been in a profession that has been badly disrupted, but we survived so far. So tonight I'm going to ask my two friends to talk about their life, their disrupted life as journalists. Kun Veena Laha Pakakun and Kun Wit Sithi Wekin. สวัสดีครับทั้งสองท่าน ครับ So how is life, Kun Pei, as a professional? What do you call yourself these days? Not a reporter, not a content creator, whatever. What will you call yourself?
On television, I think I'm a news anchor on television. But then on the online platform, I'm a content creator.
Okay. Then if you have to fill up the form in your passport form, what will you call yourself?
A journalist.
A journalist, see?
I'm old school. I'm just old school. Basically, I always think I'm a journalist. Seriously, no matter what the name is.
Okay, old school journalist. And then with what?
That applies also to me. When I do my 8-minute history, I would think that I'm a content creator. But when I sit for the morning world program, I'm a news anchor. But finally, I think whichever change in the world, whichever kind of disruption, journalist remains very valuable.
Yeah.
And so I would think that the answer by my wife is a correct one. Journalist applies to both of us.
Because I think whether it's the job of a news anchor or a content creator, anyways, we're communicating something. We're communicating information to our audience. So I think in the end, I use the same principles. I use the same concepts in journalism that you taught us as well, Suthichai. And that is just the basic journalism.
Yes.
Skills in order to piece up all the information. So I think that's still a journalistic skills, no matter what.
Yeah, I still remember this big slogan in the newsroom: "Get it first, but first get it right." Right?
Right. Speed is so important today, Kun Suthichai, because everyone wants to be the first one to know, the first one to share. But sometimes speed is not the only thing that we should consider in news dissemination. But of course, honest mistakes can happen. So I think we are trying our best to balance both, to be quick as well, but to be accurate as well.
Right. But what has changed with in terms of our way of doing things? What has changed basically? What has been the most significant change in our daily life in preparing and presenting our content?
I mean, in terms of preparing and presenting remains exactly the same. This is what I think. What I learned from you 20 years ago remained very valid.
Don't make me feel like very old. 20 years, 30 years ago.
No, but 20 years remains eternal. What you told me and my wife, 24 years ago, remained very valid. But now what changed is the channels and the technology. People still need to be informed something. They want to be updated by news. And those that have to be filtered, has to be edited in a correct way by professionals. This remains exactly the same since 1999 when I first worked with you until today, and will remain in the future, even in the next century. What changed is the platform and the technology, the way that the middleman, like all of us, communicate with people differs from time to time. I'll give you one of the examples that I really like. I think that last year I had a chance to meet with RS owner here Hall. I asked him a question: how can you survive from different waves of disruption? You start with cassette tape. He said, no, wait. I didn't start with cassette tape. I started with Go playing musical box.
Right.
And then cassette tape disrupted. And I changed once. And afterwards, when there is a change from cassette tape to CDs, I changed another time. And after it changed into streaming. So my life was disrupted. And he said, music never been disrupted. Music styles, but channels and technology differs. And therefore, when I think I would rather separate two things from each other.
Yeah.
One is journalism, or packaging or preparing our content, and then present them out. And second, the challenge that all of us translate those to our audiences or our viewers. So this is my point of view. And if I would prefer to go to another point, which is equally important, is that when we talk about disruption, there are different kinds of stakeholders. Communicators, that means three of us and our friends in the community. Audiences, are they disrupted? Are they changed in the way that disrupt our lives? That change could mean something to us. And also, once I work for a big corporate in charge of marketing, in terms of advertiser, does this disrupt badly or positively for them? And therefore, I mean, when you raise the point of disruptions, this really ignites my thoughts a lot. But I can't conclude everything by myself, and therefore three of us might be able to find some valuable inputs for the next challenge.
Wow. Don't provoke it. Don't provoke me. Don't stimulate my appetite for doing new things again. And pray for you, what has changed in the way you prepare yourself. You wake up in the morning, you used to read the newspapers and check the news and then prepare yourself to the studio, to TV. You get the script and you get the clips, and then you start, giving news on the air. And now, when you get up in the morning, what is the first thing you do as a journalist?
When you say newspapers, that sounds like some light years away. It sounds so long time ago.
Oh, so that were you there when we still had newspaper?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I wrote for newspapers. I wrote for The Nation as well.
I know. That's why when you say newspapers, it's so old. I thought, you started your journalistic life without a newspaper. No, but you were there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was there.
And with also.
I also wrote for Nation Suthichai.
I know. So you have been, through the cycle, the whole cycle, right?
Yes. The painful cycle of being each week passing by so fast, because now the deadline is here. I need to send in my article.
Right.
Yeah, but that is something very, very good in the long run. It's all about discipline. It's about organizing my thoughts and writing it out in words. I think it's another skill set. Anyways, today I don't read newspapers anymore. I wake up and then I'll look at my phone.
Yeah.
Everything is on mobile phone or on my iPad.
Right.
And of course, it's so much easier. You don't need, to have the newspapers.
I know.
You just click, and then you read everything. The top news, which one I like, I'll read more in detail. I can just pass. And then all channels are on the internet.
I know.
Yes, right? So you can spend as much time as you want on them. So I think, in a way, news is becoming a lot easier and quicker.
Yeah.
In terms of dissemination, whatever happens in the US, we in Thailand will know. Whatever happens in Europe, we will know it at that moment as well.
Same moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in a way it's easier to do our job, but in a way it makes it difficult as well, because you have to run all the time. You have to keep up all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like I fear I would lose out. Okay, not the fear of losing out, but then I have to keep up. It's my job. It's your job, Suthichai. It's our job, right?
Yes,
to know what's going on. Yeah.
Right. Keep up with the latest news. And it's in our blood. I mean, we say, why do you need to know everything that particular minute, that second? It's part of life. I cannot wait 5 minutes to know that there was a shot, fired at Trump. I have to know now so that I would know what I should react, how I should react, whether I need to do something or not. So it is quicker and more satisfying in a way that you can check details of the news almost immediately. when we were working on newspapers, there was a breaking news headline, but you didn't get any details. You have to wait half an hour or so before details started coming in. I still remember, both of you, sitting right in front of TV doing live broadcast, and there was this breaking story, and all we had was just one sentence: breaking news, no detail, nothing, and you were supposed to just keep talking.
Correct. I
Because
can remember 9/11 was a good example. Because at that time I was in Frankfurt Auto Show in Germany, and they were open and said World Trade Center were bombed.
Yeah.
The airplanes were hijacked.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, was that a sci-fi plot announced in the Frankfurt Motor Show? Not at all.
Yeah.
And afterwards, 30 minutes or even an hour later, we get substantial information afterwards. I mean, the rhythm of the world has been changing enormously. In the speed of light.
Right.
But for me, I think it has become faster and more competitive. That sounds challenging, but this really tests our true ability as a journalist.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, ability to verify, because nowadays we have got overflooding of information. You need to verify which one is authentic, which one is false, which one is the fake news. You verify them, and you need to be competitive. More than speedier, you need to be more profound.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to be more solid. This is what I like about the world, which is more competitive, because it's really through our professionalism that we have learned for decades.
Right.
I think in terms of technology, it has opened up the playing field for everyone. Anybody can be a journalist
Open
now.
competition.
Right.
Anyone can be a journalist. Anyone can just present whatever they want in the fields that they are most comfortable with or with the most knowledge with. You can be very exact about what you want to talk about in one particular subject.
Right.
And people around the world who are interested in that subject would listen to you as well. So I think as we become more global and more connected, I think the playing field is wide open for everyone. So I think it's just an overall picture, in my opinion, it's good for everyone. You can listen to someone living in Spain, in Iceland, for some subject that you might like. The world has never been this way before.
Right.
Sometimes it's only about television and then radio, but now you can just enjoy everything on the internet and from any part of the world. But yes, in a way, for us as a journalist, for me, the competition becomes more intense.
Yes.
But at the same time, I don't mind competition, and I think people can choose more than one to enjoy as well. And I think of this competitive yet friendly atmosphere will make me even more will make me want to work harder. Try even harder to understand what's going on and to keep up with whatever is going on with the world. So I think it stimulates me in a way to become even more active than before.
Right.
I can believe that.
Right. Well, what would you have to train new journalists in the new environment, which is different from the way you were trained 24 years ago? What kind of different skills, mindset will be needed in this new world of competition?
I would think that more or less, what I try to tell them more or less the same as what I learned from you, not only from you, but senior journalists. That's mean, first of all, professionalism. Professionalism is subject to various kind of interpretations, but journalism means that you need to be fast, but everything has to be verified. It has to be profound. If you have these three pillars, at least you can maintain the foundation of professionalism, and you can attract a lot of people. Because nowadays, as Pei said, in the past, journalists is an exclusive. That means we exclude other people out of our career sphere. But nowadays, it has become an open. everyone can do news reporting.
Mm-hmm.
But if we want to be a professional and authentic players in this field,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be professional with those three pillars. Speed is important, but
Yeah.
speed without verification,
Mm-hmm.
only you will not end up with to be credible.
Right.
And at the same time, with the new competition, with more competitive environment, you need to add more value, and therefore profound, as well as ability to analyze the news, ability in order to link yourself with various kind of sources, and also should there be any kind of conflicts, you need to be engaged with sources from, let's say, from many parties. This is to represent your comprehensivity of your news. This is more or less the same. But nowadays, it seems that everyone compete with their speed.
Yeah.
Speed.
Only speed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some fake news, let's say, last week, around the period where the People Republic of China has a third plenary, people said, well, Xi Jinping suffers from a stroke.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Just share it.
and share that a lot in a wide sphere. So for that particular spot, you might not lose anything, but think in the long run, if you want to establish yourself as a professional journalist, put your long-term professionalism and credibility. And therefore, what I would advise is that for short-term, speed matters, but for long-term credibility, profound, as well as what I say, the filtering the news is also important. Accuracy and profound. These are important. This is what I would say to them. And apart from that, is the background story. Many times we learn about one particular incident that happened in, let's say, in August 2024.
Yeah.
But beneath that incident, there might be some background. If you learn those background, that's really add value. I can remember when I was at the Nation, and I talked to senior editors, many of them. I'm very surprised and I'm very impressed when they talk about, for example, one particular person, one particular politician. He said, he had 30 years of experience in political sphere.
Yeah.
He used to be this, he used to be that. Therefore, background information about sources, about incidents matters a lot, because people nowadays don't want to know what happens, but rather the historical development behind those incidents. So this is what I would advise them. The new should they come and ask me, but I'm too old for them to approach.
So perhaps if a young person comes to you and say, what should I do? I want to be a good, respectable, professional journalist on YouTube. I don't want to be just one of them because I know it won't last. I want to be, there for a long time. I want people to recognize me. Where do I start? What kind of training should I get?
I would tell them that I would give them zero advice about technology because they know much better than me.
Yeah.
Especially the younger generation, they're born with all these mobile phones. They know how to look at the camera, how to talk, lighting, and everything. So that I have no advice. Okay? They know better than I do. But if I were to give them advice, I would say knowledge is still very crucial. Knowledge. You need to have knowledge. And where do you get knowledge from? From reading a lot. Yes. They can say we can Google. Of course, you can Google, but there are tons of information inside Google. So you must be able to distinguish at least facts from opinion, facts from bias. It's okay to read news from news agencies that might lean on the right or news agencies that might lean on the left. For the political stance, it's totally fine. I read both of them, but I must know what the facts are. Sometimes I just want to know the facts, but then some of the sentences would be their opinions or how they swing their stories. I think we need to be aware of that, be able to distinguish between facts and the viewpoints that the writers or that news organization have in general. Apart from that, they need to be able to analyze issues. The easiest way to analyze for me is to be able to ask questions. Very important. Why is he acting this way? Why is it that way? What's the logic? What's the reason behind it? Maybe there's something else that we don't know. I always assume that I don't know. And then I'll try to find some background stories to it, how it arrived at this point. Because sometimes news just appear out of nowhere, but actually it must come from somewhere.
For some reason.
It must come from somewhere. There must be a beginning point. So they must have this nose for news a bit as well. They must be a little bit investigative, at least, to have that curiosity to learn. And that's my next point, very important. They must be curious about what's going on to be a journalist. You must always be curious about what's going on, why things are like that, what will happen next, what if this guy becomes prime minister, what if this happens? I think that curiosity about the world or about any subject that they like, be it entertainment news, no problem. I have no objection. Whatever your passion is, whatever you're interested in, I think start from there, and that would be a very good beginning. Start from what you like, what you have a passion about, and then I think with passion, with interest, you'll be able to speed up your journalistic skills, I would say.
And with new technology, with all sorts of apps that can help you, AI now can do a lot of things. How do you handle AI? Are you afraid that AI could replace part of you or the whole of you one day in the future? Or you can probably make use of AI to assist you and make you a better presenter, better journalist. How do you handle AI? Is it a threat or is it asset for you?
I think it will be our tools in the future. AI for me at this stage, I talked to some of those who develop AI, and they said this is a little bit premature to talk about what kind of use case it will be. But of course, in the future, it will be like social medias, and it will be like Wikipedias, where it has become our second instinct. I don't know how far will it go, but to me, myself, I try to monitor what are they able to do, what are they capable to do in order to help me. For my side, I focus upon when Pei mentioned about the background, what happens. Should there be anything happen, for example, like a conflict between Hamas and Israel, you can find information in Wikipedia. For a quick way, and AI just do exactly the same at the moment. Instead of you reading it, you're listening to it, but more or less it has to be trained. And the source of the training for large language model or LLM come from Wikipedia and all the sources, let's say Americana or Britannica. But what I try, another thing is, we are in Thailand. Our official language is not English. I tried once with the founder of the company, of the AI company called Lulu Technology. And he said to me, when I asked, how fast can light travel? If you ask in English, it provides you answer quickly in 10 seconds. But if you ask in Thai, due to the fact that the source of AI are in English, source in AI are not available to be a good trainer. Finally, it provides you 5 minutes long answers with no answers at all. So AI is one thing. Ability in order to understand AI talking in English is another subject. Okay, this is what I try to update you. But the other thing is that whenever I create any content, mainly in history, I try to think, well, how can I win over the AI in the future? Because I don't want to be unemployed.
Sure.
And, for example, I have this mind fix, and I think that my AI has to be better than theirs. My AI is authentic intelligence, which means human brain.
Authentic, yeah.
What we have here is imagination. For example, when I create a content upon the history of Olympic Games, which is 128 years, starting with the Athens Games, 1896. Instead of saying today we will be talking about history of Olympic Games from Athens.
Yeah.
And I said, if I compare Olympic Games as a person, this person aged 128 years is old enough to witness all kinds of wars. First
Yeah.
World War, Second World War,
Yeah.
Cold War, civilization, and decoupling.
Yep.
And this gentleman or this lady were forced to talk and to be friends with all friends from every single nations.
Yes.
Your life is interesting. This is not AI. This is what I try to do. I try to bring my human element in there. But one day, they might be able to do the same thing. And I think that human ability is far more complicating and far more sophisticated than the LLM. But I have to monitor them on one arm, but the other, I have to compete with them to remain valuable journalists. And what I like one thing about you is that when you watch any drama, it's predictable. But news is the most unpredictable incidents in the world. And I
Agree. I agree. Yeah.
many things in life. You told me 24 years ago, and I think, well, what Kun Suthichai said is absolutely true. Many things happen in the world without anyone forecasting that before.
No.
In English, there is one word called unprecedented.
Yeah.
In German, they call it Beispiellos. There has never been examples like that before. Everything has room for unprecedented incidents. So this AI can't predict. And only human being can make sense out of it.
Right. Right. See, I can give it.
No, you disagree with me.
Well, I can give you an example of why I said 24 years ago that to the new reporters that news is the most dramatic things in this world. You know, it is better than all this drama, all this TV series. Just one example. Just 2 weeks ago, we were talking about Trump and Biden. Who would have imagined that the game was just overturned only after that bullet hit Trump's ear? No, the debate first, the Trump-Biden debate. Then we said, wow, Biden, you are finished. You know, that's the end of it. Then the bullet came to Trump to help Trump, you know, and he saw his popularity soared just like that. And that's the end. It's over for Biden. And then, you know, there was no way we could predict that Biden would decide to pull out. And once he decided to pull out, everything changed. And then you had this Kamala Harris. Suddenly, Trump became the old man. When Biden was the old man just a few days ago, you know.
True.
So, you know, if you follow the news and then you see this unexpected chain of event, as a reporter, you will say, my God, you know, I never predicted this would happen. And now, can I imagine another turn of the event from now until election day? You never know.
No.
As a reporter, your mind will start clicking. I must be prepared for the unexpected. Think the unthinkable. And that's only a very small example. But, you know, in the life of a reporter on a daily basis, if your brain starts to work in a way that could cope with any sudden change, then AI cannot beat you, I'm sure. Right, Pai?
It might be able in the future. Now it's only the beginning stage. I use AI. I actually use AI.
Yeah, you do.
I'm trying to research for information. Now, on some of the subjects that I ask for information from AI, I think maybe they still have limited information or pool of information for AI to learn. So there are some things that I ask AI that I know the answer, and AI couldn't give me the whole information yet. I mean, I get the full picture from Googling rather than from AI alone. But I think in the end, AI will definitely catch up in no time.
You think so?
So I think AI will, hopefully, I will use AI for my work. Definitely.
Yes.
But will AI replace me? That's my question as well. If the audience say, "Oh, maybe AI is more accurate, gives me even better information than me," and then the audience says, "Okay, from now on, I just want to listen to AI. I can just ask AI any questions I want, and then they will just speak out the answers. You don't even have to read." If that's the trend, of viewers worldwide, then I have to accept it that AI will definitely disrupt and replace me.
Wow. Wow.
If it's only disruption, I am using it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No problem. But in the long run, of course, it will be smarter than me. It will have much more information than my brain can hold. So I think it depends on viewers, whether or not they want to just listen to AI talking to them, or they want to listen to a real person talking to them. I really don't know. I really don't know. People become more isolated now, even with after COVID, and then everyone living apart. It's not a big family like before, social life. So I think, who knows, one day people might want to just listen to AI, and not all these human journalists anymore.
My God. You were saying something else. Now you have to disagree with her, because you see human beings are still superior because we have emotion, we have imagination. AI is an imagination, but Per is saying that no, one day it would also have the kind of imagination that we have.
And it will happen very fast, because look, AI is disrupting the works of people, say in design, in graphic design, in the art world. It can also do that job, right? They're also having a big debate about AI work and human work. But they know it's the same work. How do you value both of them, right? So I think in all careers, whatever that we think we do best now, we will all be challenged. And so that's why I think it will be up to other people to judge who we want to listen to.
Okay. I lean on humanistic side. Yeah. If I simply ask myself, if one day AI can project the image of Taylor Swift.
Yes.
With the best song ever, 10 songs, and they held up an AI concert against the real human Taylor Swift.
Okay.
You think that human being want to spend money for AI Taylor Swift, and she can be surrounded by, let's say, the Beatles, Once More Alive, and Elvis Presley, and against real Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, okay.
Which one that you think that people would spend the money for? Ticket for AI Taylor Swift with the best songs ever.
Okay.
Who at that time could be 10 years older than now? Because human beings against human. Sometimes we overestimate and we think that human beings are pure rational beings. Finally, we are emotional beings.
Emotional, yes.
We want to be with real people. Recently, I went to Italy, and I asked, Italy is the largest economy in the world. Have you ever heard of that AI company? Have you ever heard of that digital company? I mean, a lot of that company deal with emotional value goods. Look at Prada. Look at Moncler. Look at Technotree. Look at Ferrari. People bought Ferrari, and rarely do they drive out of the house.
Right.
It's emotional items. And likewise, part of that AI can, of course, like this. Human being even cannot compete with calculator. Okay? But why do we still need people? Scientific calculator is much better than us. But finally, we need people calculating things. Likewise, I think that AI, they might have their own place, but at the same time, I will not be an active, I will not be a passive actor in this game. If there is a competition between authentic intelligence, which is my brain and our brain, and artificial intelligence, I will not sit and do nothing. I will monitor them and try to think like the Italian. the most advanced technology are human brains and human hands.
Yeah.
Sono troppo italiano.
So, Pai, you have to follow up this argument with wit and to find a conclusion on that, because I think this is a very interesting debate that is going on. That is going on around the world too, because I talk to a lot of experts in AI, and they follow wit's thinking, but some people follow Pai's prediction that don't be complacent. Human beings may say, in the end, we are superior, because in the end, AI is only machine. They do what we tell them to do, or they do what we train them to do. But, technology, when we started talking about newspaper, 30 years ago, 24 years ago, 25 years ago, I told people in the newsroom in the nation saying, one day people will not read newspaper. They screamed at me. They screamed at me and said, you're crazy. It's impossible. Then about 10 years later, I said, one day people may not watch TV. Come on, it's not possible. This screen, so small, people will not watch it. And I look today, right? So never be complacent. Never come to any conclusion. And keep your mind open and be prepared for the worst. It may be more fun. It may be more interesting alive when AI can do a lot of things, about 60-80% of what we do now. So we find things to do on our own, more free time, more creative things. And Witt went on stage the other day for his 8-minute history. And you know what he said in the beginning? He said, I'm happy that this year I'm presenting history to you, but next year I will do this. So
you can remember that.
In a way, Per, you were right. He was thinking, although he may not be, he's not admitting that deep down, he's so scared that next year the AI could walk up to the stage and then say, I'm Witt 2.0. I am, my voice is like Witt's, my brains is more or less like Witt, but I can remember more detail than Witt.
Yes, correct. True.
I won't miss my script. See?
True.
You see? Maybe my smart is not as sexy as Witt's, but I will improve on it. But you can be sure that I can be as entertaining as Witt. That is the question. So you think that AI can be more entertaining? The smile would be more sort of cunning and more sexy? But you cannot beat AI in terms of facts, figures.
No.
Right? Yeah. So what I think next year, what you should do is to do it with AI. Your stage. Yeah, it will be fun. You do the human part. You do the human part. You leave AI to do the detail, the graphics. That's the connectivity of history from the Roman Empire to the future. 100 years from now, AI can link it all up for you. But you can provide the human vulnerabilities, the fear, the fear of human being of seeing this, what AI is predicting. And you can share your fear, your predicament with the audience and say, what do we do as human beings if AI is correct? This is when I saw you on stage, I was immediately thinking what you should do next year.
You ignited me already.
Right?
You ignited me a lot, yes.
Yeah, and it will be great fun, and more people will come to your show because it's going to be with AI and the real Witt. Which one do you think is better? You see? You can promote
imagination.
You can promote it from this year. That next year is going to be with AI with.
That's a good idea.
That could be 8 minute future.
That is future, yeah, future history, the future history of human beings. AI is coming to provide. You talk about history in the past. AI will talk about history in the future. What do you want history to be like 100 years from now, 200 years from now? The real wit will not be here, but the with AI will still be here talking to you.
With AI is immortal.
Yeah, immortal. You see?
Okay. So please invite and designate Kun Suthichai as the executive producer
He will.
of
This is what I have in mind already.
No, it's great fun, and if you start developing the with AI now, you have to train it, and you have to put in a lot of input into it, but it will be fun because you're going to talk about future 30 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now. What would history be like in AI's vision? And you would argue with it, and you let the audience participate and argue with AI.
The second part of AI history also has been designed.
Kun Suthichai, do you think AI can replace you?
No, number one, I would be dead by then, you see. So I'm not.
No. I think you will be around. AI development is very fast.
Too fast. 3-5 years from now, it would be quite scary. But I like it because, we have been through this, and AI development will be part of it. It will be more effective than the past few disruptions that we have faced in the media profession. But it will enhance. And as I said, if I were to do a program on YouTube with AI in the next 2 or 3 years, I would sit with AI and I would let AI do the work that I need them to do. And that is provide the details, you do predictions. I am the human being and I will argue with you, and it would make it more fun. The audience will enjoy it. And I will ask the audience to take part in fighting the AI with me. You are on my side, audience on my side. You are not going to be on AI side, right? But
no, I think the audience will also have the original audience and the AI audience as
well.
Right. And everyone will have an AI version of themselves.
Right. You see, so I think it is a great challenge for us, and for me, every new challenge should provide new opportunities in presenting content that we can think of, and then we be more imaginative. We think more about, hey, if I'm going to get AI to discuss Thai politics with me, what kind of information should I put in? And let AI be on the other side of the camp, the political camp. Then I'm on this side. AI will fight with me over this argument or this issue. So it will be more challenging, and it will keep you alert all the time. New arguments, new information. And if you twist the information to the other side, what would happen? You can simulate a situation, scenario. I think scenario making will become more fun. That, if the prime minister is not Setha, you put in Ung Ing, what will happen? You put in all her experience, what she has said, what she has told the public about her policy and all this. And then if Ung Ing become prime minister, this is her policy. This is what it would be like. If it's Anutin, then this is the kind of policy you will see, because he wants Kancha. He's going to go down more onto the rural areas instead of fighting the urban constituencies. If it's Gao Klai, then I'll put in all this information. I'll say, form a government under Gao Klai with their policies. How would that government be like? I think that would be more imaginative, and people can see the real composition of policies in a more concrete way.
And I think AI will feel headache for the first time.
For headache. I will have headache for the first time because of Thai politics.
Thai politics, yes.
Okay.
Okay, great. This has been great fun, the conversation tonight. And I hope this is just the beginning. When you have more thoughts on the profession not being disrupted, AI, and how we can help the new generation of content creators to be more professional, let's get together. And I'll take up on your challenge that we can do a program together, 3 of us, on any subject, I'm sure. Any subject. Just give me a call.
Okay,
Will do.
definitely. I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about U.S. politics more and more, especially the election.
Oh,
Election is coming. It's time for all of us to sit together and talk.
Yeah.
with not 4 years ago or 8 years ago, Play was in America covering the election. I was in the studio, and it was Trump against Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
2016.
2016.
Yeah. And as the results came in, oh my God, And Play was there on the other end of the line, and she was really upset. And I was sitting with
Nice outcome.
I was sitting with what's his name? Who was who?
Suthichai with M.
Not M. No. He was right on the spot. He said Trump would win, and you and I were saying no, Hillary Clinton must win. So it was a very bad night for us because the whole world was crumbling down with what, Trump being president. Yeah, I remember. Pearl was there.
Yeah, I think we were very surprised. I think because of all the polls as well.
Right.
In 2016, I think people are sort of afraid to tell what they really think.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid of saying out loud that I support Trump.
Right.
But not this time. But not 2024. Make America great again.
This time, the same challenge, and that is going to be Kamala Harris against Trump, and the polls are showing Kamala now,
Leading a bit.
Yeah, leading a bit now.
Wow.
We'll see whether the same pattern will repeat itself or not. Okay, we keep up and keep in touch. Thank you very much for today.
We do.
Thank you very much.
สวัสดีครับสวัสดีครับ ขอบคุณทุกท่านที่ติดตามสุทธิชัยไลฟ์ครับ ล่าสุดนี่มีคนกด subscribe กดกระดิ่ง 1.2 ล้านท่านแล้วครับ ตัวเลขเพิ่มขึ้นไปเรื่อยๆ และต้องขอบคุณเป็นพิเศษสำหรับผู้ที่กด Super Stickers Super Chat เพื่อให้กำลังใจกับทีมงานสุทธิชัยไลฟ์จะได้อยู่กันยาวๆยั่งยืนและสมกับคนบ้าข่าวด้วยกันครับ